there's this like whole speech that they say before they pat you down, and that's about like 5 minutes long. It's this whole thing, and you know what? Should we go into the lounge? Yeah, I'm a lounge girly. Let's go into the lounge.
I rarely shoot in my room, but here we are. We need to start packing because this trip is only 72 hours and I have about 10 hours left until I have to go meet my driver to go to the airport. For this trip, I'm taking my Louis Vuitton Steven Sprouse collaboration bag. I actually bought this for my birthday this year. Most of the designer anythings I have, designer clothing, designer bags, designer accessories, are usually always secondhand. I still don't have the money to afford straight out of the store. But actually, that's a lie. I have two things that I bought straight out of the store. That's a lie again. I have three things that I bought straight out of the store. One being my wallet, my Prada shoes, and my Margielas. That's it. Everything else is secondhand. And this is the travel bag. So this is what we're going to take because this is going to be a really quick trip. Jeans, shirts to match it. Always bring an extra outfit that literally will save you. And more underwear than I probably should. My toiletries, which I have my full skincare routine. I also have my Keynote outfit right here. I don't know if I will ever change this, but every time I go on an airplane, I have to wear comfy clothes. I am not one to be wearing a whole outfit, especially if it's really long hours. Now, I'm in California. If I'm going to Vegas, which is an hour and a half of a trip on an airplane, then I can wear a whole outfit. That I have no problem with that. But going more than 5 hours on an airplane, you better believe that I'm going to be wearing comfy clothes. What does that mean? That means that I'm going to be wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt so I can be comfy and fall asleep on the airplane, which has been pretty consistent every single time I'm on a plane. I'm really liking the turbulence that's happening recently, so I just pass out. I also bring things that help me be independent. And for me, that is a dressing stick and a zipper pull mechanism. Honestly, I should probably do a whole video of things that make life easier for me. Let me know if you want that video. I'm also bringing a notebook and a pen. Call me old fashioned. I love writing things down. Obviously, let's not forget about the shoes. I am absolutely bringing 2 pairs of shoes. One, the shoes that I will be wearing when I'm traveling, and another one the day of the event. I'm thinking I'm going to bring my Margielas. They're classy, sophisticated, but also kind of kick-ass. Welcome to my walk-in closet. Well, technically it is considered a walk-in closet because I'm inside. And also, this is where I usually record any animated or voiceover auditions. Usually that's the trick. If you don't have a whole setup to do these voiceovers, you don't need a whole setup to do it. You could just go into your closet because it muffles out the sound with all the clothes that are inside. So I'm going to be doing this 72-hour trip to Philadelphia. And it is a speaking engagement. In my career, I chose to advocate for my community. It is something that not every single disabled person needs to do. But for me, I always find it very liberating and healing when I'm able to answer a lot of questions that people who don't have a disability or don't have anyone to ask these questions. I'm your girl. Please don't go up to your random disabled person asking away. This is why there are amazing and wonderful videos on YouTube or just all over the internet that I'm pretty sure you can search. But so yes, I'm going to be talking about my perseverance, how I got to where I got. How did I get here? That's what I'm going to be answering for a group of people in Philadelphia. They're called the Good Shepherd Rehabilitation, and they basically help people from all different points of life to help them be most independent. And I am so honored that they asked me to come to be their keynote speaker. And so we're packing for that. What do you pack as a keynote speaker.
If you saw my last video, the video before this one, you know that I bought these shoes in Paris and they are crispy new. We're taking them.
I just learned if you call 72 hours before you get on the plane, TSA will personally take you through. This is for disabled people only.
Not sure why my chair is still there, just hanging out, not moving. See, that's what I kind of don't understand. Yes, hi!
Or maybe you came down a
Yes,
different
yes.
Elevator. I just checked over.
Oh yeah, no, it's behind here, the
Do you have
elevator.
check baggage?
No, just this. Just
Okay,
this,
you want me to hold that for you?
Yes, please. It's a little-
Sure. So
Appreciate
we're
it.
this way.
This way?
We'll go out over here.
Okay.
I'm close.
Well, hi. Welcome to my hotel room. Okay, well, obviously you guys are inside and I came from the outside and I am the only one here. So this was yeah, I set that up. Why? Because why not? Cinematic. It's so weird when you have to like do things and then run out to then capture it to seem natural, but it usually ends up being, in my mind at least, the question of, well, who's the one holding the camera? And because I'm on this trip by myself, no one is. Let's get on this tour, shall we? Because the room is actually really cute. It's really, really cute. I have a kitchen so I can cook, a couch for guests, but really is where I always put my suitcase, or in this case, carry-on. Welcome me. It's really cute. I love when hotels do that. I mean, you know this is gonna be real comfy. Not a single soul in sight. Where am I? The bathroom. We have actually accessible bathroom with handlebars and space to roll around, but also a walk-in shower. And my favorite part, I guess, of these kinds of shower is that everything is in hand's reach, and that's so important because sometimes it's not. Except now here is my question. How am I gonna get the body wash? Thankfully I brought my own, but hello. Now explain to me, I'm in the shower, literally inside the shower, but explain to me how am I supposed to reach the body wash? Just for reference, this is where my head is. I can't, this is me standing up. Still too short. I guess thankfully, at least for me, my chair does rise up, but not all chairs do. So I guess we have one thing so far that is not equipped for anybody who uses a wheelchair, at least. That's not okay. Let's continue. I do appreciate the levels in the kitchen. So I'm able to reach literally everything probably except for the top cabinets. That I won't be able to reach. I guess if I wanted to cook, this is very leveled to me, except for the top cabinets. That I won't be able to reach. But I'm loving how equipped and how accessible everything is, even the microwave. Although I barely use it, a microwave, because my mom, when I was little, really embedded in our heads that it was extremely toxic and frequencies and all of that. And also that it tastes different when you're putting it in the microwave. I have checked that theory out, and I don't know if it's psychosis, but she's not wrong. It does taste very different. Are you a person that heats their food up in a pan or in their microwave?
Of course, I am absolutely late for...
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here, and I learned so much about everything there is to know here. So it's honestly an honor to be here. Let's start. Let's do this. Oh, no, first one. There we go. So some people say that I did change the world, but really, I simply refused to accept what I was told about who I could be. And I was willing to make a fuss about it. Judy Human, she was my fairy godmother, so this quote, it means everything to me. And there's actually a movie that's currently filming about her life that's coming out, I believe next year, so I'm really excited for that. So if you don't know me yet, by the end of this, trust me, we'll be best friends. Hi, my name is Jillian Mercado. I am one of the first professional models in the United States who has a physical disability. You might have seen me in campaigns, or as I lovely said, with brands like Way, Nordstrom, Target, and with Queen Bee herself, Beyonce. I've been on billboards in Times Square, walked red carpets, and starred in a hit series on Showtime. But what I'm most proud of is being here, alive, thriving, and refusing to settle for anyone's limited expectations. What people don't see is how hard this journey has really been. When people see my career as it is now, they only see the photos. The billboards, the red carpets, which is all fabulous by the way, but they don't see the hundreds of doors I had to knock on, and the ones that were slammed in my face, saying things like, "We already have one of you," or "This doesn't resonate with us right now." The kind of rejection does bruise your ego. It can chip away your spirit, because when people only see you as symbolic, as a moment of inspiration, they forget you're a whole person, with talent, with ambition, with the right to be here. I didn't break into this career to be someone's token. I did it because we deserve to be seen as part of what diversity truly looks like. Because when you see yourself represented, something in you shifts. It gives you permission to dream, to try, and to imagine so much more. But when you're judged for something you can't change, it makes holding on to that dream harder. And because I'm stubborn, I still held on. Because I knew there were others coming after me who needed to see what was possible. I wasn't going to let the world shrink our futures into something small and acceptable. We are meant to take up space. And no one can decide what our story can or cannot be. Self-love isn't a luxury for us, it's a survival skill. And finding joy, even when it takes longer, even when it's harder, especially, it's a radical act. It's a declaration that our lives are worth celebrating, not just enduring. And if you're someone who doesn't identify with having a disability yet, this is for you. This isn't a separate community. It's not them versus us, it's all of us. One accident, one illness, one aging joint, and everything changes. All right, my question is, will you wait? Okay, this is, pause. This is my mom and I. Don't you love her fabulous hair? Yeah. The 80s had the best hair, I swear. Like, wow. I kind of want to reenact that photo with my mom because it's amazing. If you notice, on the right side of my cheek, I have like a little bruise there, or a little something going on there. I used to only be fed through a tube that was through my stomach and not through my mouth. And the doctors for a very long time told
told me that I was never able to eat through my mouth again. But because my mom is Dominican and in New York, she didn't like it. She did not like that answer. And this was the week that she decided that it's a no. And that's what she told me when she gave me this photo this week. Where was I? Allyship is not about speaking up for us. It's about learning, unlearning, and listening. And asking, how can I make the space more welcoming? What assumptions am I still holding on to? And how can I do better? Because ableism isn't always loud. Sometimes it's an awkward silence. It's that hesitation. It's that excuse. But the good news, every mindset can be unlearned. All right, let me ask you something. And be honest, okay? Yes? Yes? Okay. Raise your hand if you ever used a touch-screen phone, or to the best of your ability. Okay. Now keep them raised, bear with me. Keep them raised if you ever wheeled a suitcase over one of those little sidewalk ramps curb cuts. Okay. Or use Siri or Alexa. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. There's a point to this, I promise. Okay, congratulations! You have officially benefited from accessible design. Touchscreens, here's a little history lesson for you. Touchscreens, they weren't invented to look cool, although it is pretty cool. They were designed to help people with limited mobility communicate more easily. Now we swipe like it's second nature. Curb cuts, yep, originally made for wheelchair users. Now they're for strollers, delivery carts, rollerblades, and an overpacked suitcase on the way to the airport. Now think about some of the things you use every single day. Electric doors, voice to text, even touch screens. Most of these weren't made for convenience. They were invented out of necessity by or for people with disabilities. Accessible innovations just don't benefit one group, they improve the world for everyone. That's what inclusion actually means, designing for all of us, not just a few. So the next time you feel the urge to doubt someone based on what you think they can't do, pause, take a good pause, reflect, and ask yourself, what are you projecting? And how are you willing to learn instead? So now that you know, you're in it, what do you do about it? I got you, don't worry. Here's some real call to actions. Okay, if you live with a disability, keep showing up, loudly, proudly, and without apology. You are not here to shrink. You are here to take up space. Because trust me, with this chair, you really lose some space. And shift the atmosphere. Right, my allies, where are my allies at? I know you're here, okay. If you're an ally, start where you are. Speak up when you see inaccessibility. Make room at your tables, your literal tables, your boardroom tables, your dining room tables, and listen, truly listen when someone tells you what they need. Because changing the world doesn't look like a protest or a headline. Sometimes it looks like calling out a broken elevator, and there's quite a few of them in the world. Or adding image descriptions to your Instagram, or just sitting beside someone, seeing them fully and not looking away. Because the truth is, I'm not the exception. I'm only one example of what happens when barriers are challenged and doors are actually opened. Actually, we should remove the doors. I don't know why the doors are there anyways. We normalize disability by making it, by living in it, by refusing it to be erased. And if you're someone who ever felt underestimated, overlooked, or boxed in, please hear me when I say, you belong here. You belong everywhere your passion wants to take you. The world needs your story, exactly how it is, unfiltered, unapologetic, and absolutely boundless. it. Am I right? And maybe that's where the shift changes, right here with you. Thank you.